Bangladesh. We had hosted him a few months ago. Last month, an elegant lady who dresses in beautiful saris made history. Sheikh Hasina won an election and beat the records of Indira Gandhi, Golda Meir, Margaret Thatcher, Sirimava Bandaranaike, and I'm not even talking about Chandrika and Benazir. We had the pleasure of hosting her minister at the FCC 25 years ago, but she was leader of the opposition at that time.
Oh, yeah.
We look forward to having her again when she comes to Delhi next time. May I give you a brief introduction? The FCC was founded in 1958.
Sure.
We have about 1,000 members, and they cover the whole of South Asia from here. That includes your country also. And FCC members have access to 46 similar clubs in 31 countries, including your own country, the National Press Club. And whatever you read in the newspapers or watch on television would have been written by a member of the FCC all over the world. Okay. So to begin the proceedings, may I request our secretary, Prakash Nanda, to introduce our chief guest.
Thank you. Welcome, sir. As you all know, Dr. Hassan Mahmud is the new foreign minister of Bangladesh after the latest round of elections. But he was a minister for information and broadcasting in the previous term of Sheikh Hasina, that is in between 2019 and 2024. And he was also the Minister for Environment and Forest from 2009 and 2014. He was chairman of the Standing Committee on Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change from 2014 to 2018. He also has served as the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs in 2009. Dr. Mahmood has an illustrious political career and is currently holding the position, that is the party position, that is the Joint General Secretary of the Bangladeshi Awami League. He was the former Secretary of Publicity and Publications and also the Secretary of Environment and Forest Affairs. He holds a PhD in Environmental Science from Limburg University in Belgium. He different areas of environmental science and gave special lectures at many prestigious foreign universities in the world. So, welcome you, sir.
Thank you. May I now invite the Honorable Minister to make his remarks. Yes.
Good afternoon to everyone. Does it work?
Yes.
Good afternoon to everyone. Honorable President of Foreign Correspondent Club, this is indeed a great pleasure for me to be invited here. I had the opportunity to meet with the Foreign Correspondent Club members a few years back at the residence of our then High Commissioner in Delhi. Many members went, I remember, and I had the opportunity to have interaction with the members at the time. But this is my first official visit to this club. I am very delighted to see very nice bungalow allocated to the Foreign Correspondent Club in Delhi. You know that we had election on 7th January this year, and we had to face a lot of hurdles in holding the election. The election commission had to face a lot of hurdles because there is strong opposition uh, and for not holding the election. And there are different ploys. You know that in Bangladesh, uh, different times, I mean, democracy had been interrupted, and there are different ploys, conspiracy against the democratic process in Bangladesh. Despite all these obstacles, uh, we had very good election, and voter turnout was 41.8%. It means almost 42% voter turnout. Election was in a festive mood, and election is a festivity in Bangladesh. That is not the case in Europe, but election is also festivity, I think, in India. In our subcontinent, election is a festivity. And that festivity took place on 7th January and before in Bangladesh. After the election, not much festivity because any victory procession was barred by the election commission. But before the election, there was festivity. On the election day, there was festivity. And you know that BNP and its ally, Jamaat Islami, radical Islamic party, Jamaat Islami, they tried to foil the election. They carried out arson attack on people, on vehicle, on government installations, and etc. On 28th of October, you know, BNP and Jamaat Islami jointly and their allies jointly held a rally, a meeting in Dhaka. Without any provocation, they attacked police. And what had never happened in the history of Bangladesh, they attacked Chief Justice House. We have, I mean, uh, in last 52 years' time after our independence, before our independence, during our language movement, independence struggle, never this type of attack on the Chief Justice House took place. But on 28th October last year, uh, the miscreants from BNP and Jamaat Islami carried out attack on Chief Justice House. Even they attacked the police hospital and burned, including ICU ambulance. They burned 19 vehicles in front of, in the premises of police hospital. So how they tried to foil the election, you can understand. And the rally or public meeting they organized uh, just to protest, just to protest for not holding the election. So despite all this effort, all these heroic activities, we had very good election. Many people talk because you are a member of the Foreign Correspondent Club. Many people say that voter turnout was not even 50%. Yes, voter turnout was not even 50%. That's correct. Voter turnout would be, should be, could have been 50% plus if on that day, on that very day, uh, there's a lot of it's a foggy day and a cold day in terms of Bangladesh, not in terms of even in terms of Delhi also it was very cold day. So water turnout in the morning was very less. With the increase of the daylight, sunlight, water turnout increased. But I want to give you some data on voter turnout around the globe. In 2021, Portugal had election. Portugal is member of European Union. They had election, and voter turnout was 39.24%. And in 2018, Ireland had election, and voter turnout was 43.87%. This is also a member of European Union. In Bulgaria, they had election in 2022, 37.98%. In Romania, they had election in 2020, voter turnout was 31.84%. Hong Kong, uh, it's an advanced territory, and they had election in 2021, voter turnout was 20%. So if you compare, I mean, with this advanced countries, which are member of the European Union, voter turnout in Bangladesh was very good. In those countries, there was no opposition. No one opposed the election. But in Bangladesh, there was ploy, try, obstacles in holding the election, ploy, try. The opposition BNP and Jamaat Islami tried to foil the election process. So we had very good election, I would say. And in that election was free, fair, transparent. And in the election, many of our veteran leaders are defeated. Uh, Cabinet members are defeated. And in our party, highest tier of our party is the presidium. So it's the presidium, around 17, 18 people are in the presidium member. That is the highest tier of our party. Presidium members was also defeated. Member was defeated. So it was very free, fair, transparent election, I would say. And after the election, immediate after the election, we got a congratulatory letter from uh, Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi. And in this process, we must remain thankful to the people of India, Indian civil society, and the government of India for standing beside us to continue the democratic process in Bangladesh. In foiling the ploy of some quarters to disrupt the democracy, India was beside us for continuation of democracy. Until yesterday, 65 countries have sent congratulatory letter to Bangladesh, Prime Minister of Bangladesh, and 20 international organizations, including United Nations Secretary General, OIC, SARC, European Council, etc., have congratulated our new government and Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. So this shows that the world community has understood, despite all the obstacles and hurdles, we had good election, and through a free, fair, transparent election process, our government is elected. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, uh, indeed, this congratulatory letter has strengthened uh, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and her government in ruling the country, has given an inspiration to Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and her government in ruling the country. And today, as I'm speaking in Delhi, the capital of India, so we speak on Indo-Bangla relationship. You know that under the leadership of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi, over the last couple of years, our relationship has gone to new height, which are concept 10, 15 years ago. These are the reality today. Which issues are the issues of the debate, issues, political issues. These are the reality today. For example, transit was an issue of debate in Bangladesh, and it was difficult to speak in favor of transit before 2008 election. Even after 2008 election, it was not easy to sail transit issue. But transit is taking place in Bangladesh, between Bangladesh and India for the last couple of years and benefiting the people, both people of both the countries. And power grid sharing, that was just a concept at the time. 15 years ago, 12 years ago, it was just a concept. But now we have signed agreement both with India and Nepal to, for sharing power. And we are importing already electricity for last couple of years from India. And I was, as you have mentioned here, I was environment minister for 5 years, almost 5 years. And I was environment secretary of our party for long 10 years. In different international forum, I used to hear, I used to speak as well. Look, Nepal has the potential of producing 100,000 megawatt of electricity. Bhutan has the potential of producing 20,000 megawatt of electricity from hydro sources. If we could make use of that, then we could benefit our people. We would be able to provide energy, electricity to our people with cheaper price. And also we could protect our environment. Thereby we could reduce the greenhouse gas emission. These are the concept, talking point in international seminars. But today, these are the reality. India already has signed an agreement with Nepal to buy 10,000 megawatt of electricity within the next 20 years' time. Yesterday, I had a meeting with Honorable External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar, and he said they would make it even earlier. And we have signed a treaty to import 40 megawatt of electricity from Nepal using Indian grid or multinational grid, what has been transformed into multinational grid. So India has allowed this. And this was unthinkable 10, 12 years back. And these issues were issues of the debate. And these issues was political issues. These were. So today, these are the reality. And you see, I mean, we have signed agreement with India and with Indian LLC and our money together. We have constructed different for strengthening our connectivity, and we have signed all types of agreement. All the legal framework has been finished, completed, and also the uh, test trial has taken place for using Chittagong and Mongla seaport for eastern provinces of India. This was this was not easy to think or easy to do 10, 15 years back. So under the leadership of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, our the relationship between Bangladesh and India has been strengthened, diversified. Also, the relationship in the region has been strengthened and diversified. What is bringing benefit, economic benefit, social benefit for the people of our region. And you know that 2023 in the morning also I said 2023 has been a wonderful year because last year Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina came to join G20 summit by the invitation of uh, Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi. Though we are not member of G20, and she was the only leader from developing countries who was invited to join G20 summit meeting. And you said I was in charge of Ministry of Information and Broadcasting for last 5 years. And, within last 5 years' time, we have made a historic movie, a joint production of historic movie on life and on life of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, life and contribution to the nation of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, Mujib biopic. The name of the movie is Mujib: The Making of a Nation. That is a joint production. It's a Bombay movie, but a joint production by India, Indian NFDC, and Bangladesh FDC. So this shows the willingness to work together. And in international forum, we have presented this movie uh, to uh, 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 to the Cannes Film Festival, Toronto Film Festival, and we are planning to bring this movie to other different film festivals together, India and Bangladesh, in the international forum. And you know that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and our Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has inaugurated number of projects last year uh, for strengthening our ties and the connectivity, especially. So, under both leader, our relationship has gone to new height. And I want to give just some light on our development process over the last 15 years' time. Bangladesh was a member of least developed countries. Today, Bangladesh has been graduated. Indeed, we are graduated in 2022. We are graduated because of the COVID that has been delayed. And initially, the plan was that our graduation would be announced by 2024. But because of the corona pandemic, it has been delayed by 2 years. But we have completed everything. We have fulfilled all the parameters, and Bangladesh has been graduated as mid-income uh, country, uh, mid-income developing country. And when we formed the government back in 2009, then per capita income of the people of Bangladesh was $600. And today, the per capita income of Bangladesh people, per capita GDP is 2,800 US dollar. And our GDP size in 2009 was 80 billion US dollar. And today our GDP size is 578 billion US dollar, is 6 times higher. And per capita income close to 5 times higher. And our size of budget in Bangladesh back in 2009, 8-9 financial year was 81,000 crore taka in taka. And today that is 7,67,000 crore taka in this financial year. So how many times is about the 10 times? So higher than in 2009. So uh, the percentage of people used to live below poverty line was 41%, and that has been reduced to 18% now. And extreme poverty has been reduced to 5% now in Bangladesh, which was about 20% 15 years back. And you know that Bangladesh is a country having highest density of population in the globe. And in Bangladesh, people are having lowest per capita arable land. But despite having highest density of population in the globe, despite having lowest per capita arable land, Bangladesh has become self-sufficient in food grain production. We became food deficit country back in 1950s, mid 50s. We became food deficit country when the population was 55 million only. And today the population is 170 million plus. Not an inch of arable land has been increased, rather has been decreased by 25% or more because of the expansion of the cities, because of infrastructure build up, because of industrialization, because of making shelter for increased number of population. Because of all these factors, arable land has been reduced by 25 to 30%. But our production has been increased by 4 times. We had food grain production in 1972, 10 million ton, and today 40 million ton. This is not only wonder to many scientists, this is wonder to World Food Program also. Bangladesh is a case study now to World Food Program, how a country having highest density of population, having lowest per capita arable land, being a country affected by climatic events every year, and being a country affected by all the negative factors of the climate change, has become self-sufficient in food grain production. And in terms of the area,
I mean, His Excellency has to leave because of some pressing engagements.
and you know that Bangladesh, in terms of the area, is 92 number of country of the world, but Bangladesh is number 3 in rice production. Bangladesh is number 3 in sweetwater fish production. Bangladesh is number 4 in vegetable production, and Bangladesh is number 7 in potato production. Bangladesh is number 1 in Hilsa fish production. This is not because of magic, rather because of magical leadership of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. So, but it would never be possible for us to achieve this goal, to go this far without having good relationship and assistance from India. For having good relationship and peace that has enabled us to prosper our country. We are thankful for that to the Indian people. Let me talk about on our foreign policy. Uh, our founding father, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, formulated a value-based foreign policy with the dictum, friendship to all, Malays towards none. These maxims serves as the bedrock of our foreign policy, objectives and aspiration for peace, progress, and development. This principled stand also continues to guide us in in nurturing our relationship with other countries. Uh, I would not elaborate as I'm speaking before the journalist. My family for last 5 years was with journalists, and I love company of journalists. And journalist community in Bangladesh, they feel I'm their. Is it not? So I'm very attached to them, and I'm missing them also. And I've been given the charge of foreign ministry. I'm missing, and to some extent they are also missing. So I am, as I'm speaking before the journalist community. So journalists uh, can formulate the opinion of the people, can show the path to the people, to the community, to the country for future. So I think we should play a role in this respect. And uh, this association, Foreign Correspondent Club, also can play a vital role in strengthening the ties between Bangladesh and India, in strengthening the ties in our region, and thereby, because sometimes politicians, because of the domestic compulsion, because of the domestic politics, sometimes they cannot say many things openly. But journalists, for example, 20 years back, for a politician in Bangladesh, it was difficult to speak in favor of it. But many journalists wrote articles in the newspaper why and how transit would be beneficial for both the countries. So these forward looking and this thinking you have, so you can contribute in a strengthening the ties among the countries and between the countries. Today, uh, and sometimes I want to tell a little bit more because now we are facing a lot of challenges because of the fake news. And when social media has become dominant and part and parcel of our life, because social media is very easy to use, you can use in train, you can use in bus station, you can use even in the washroom. So yes, people are using so. And at the beginning, 7, 8 years back or 10 years back, it was difficult to tell to the people, look, Facebook is not the media, it's social media. But now people have realized this is not the conventional media. You see, this is social media. So because of that, we are facing a lot of challenges. In India, also, we have been facing challenges. In Europe, they are also facing challenges. That's why in Europe, in European Union, they have new legislation and member states. European Union has umbrella legislature, and member state has made different law. So you're facing these kind of challenges. In facing during Corona pandemic in Bangladesh, we also faced a lot of challenges through social media, from vague and fake news, and from the opposition. Because Bangladesh was the country that started vaccination when 130 countries did not even start vaccination in the world. And our Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina booked vaccination immediate after the invention of the vaccine with Serum Institute. So we started and we got vaccine. We sourced out vaccine from around the globe. So, but at the time, there was a negative campaign in the social media. Look, this is from India. It will not work. This vaccine will not work. And even there was, rumor was spread through social media and through vague and fake that this vaccine is used for the cattle, for cow. You should not use that. Then there was call from the BNP that ministers should take first vaccine. And I took vaccine. I took vaccine, and many other ministers took vaccine. And later they took vaccine. And media asked how you're feeling. They said, we're feeling very good. So these kind of challenges we face. But at the time, the conventional and traditional media played very role in foiling these fake news and rumor in the social media. So I believe that in this respect also we can work together. Sometimes we see that wrong fabricated news are published in social media here and in unregistered media platforms and some ghost platforms. So in that respect also we should work together so that that does not negatively impact on our relationship and regional peace and stability. Thanks to you all. Joy Bangla, Joy Bangabandhu.
Thank you, Minister. May I request you to tell us about your confabulations in Delhi with the External Affairs Minister and the Commerce Minister and the Ajit Doval and other people? And what are your impressions about yours is the first high-level visit after the elections. So tell us about the state of discussions you had here.
Look, between Bangladesh and India, we have number of issues. We have border issues. We are facing the problems because of the Myanmar situation. Both the countries are facing the challenges and the problems. We are hosting 1.2 million Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh, forcibly displaced people from Myanmar. So we discussed all these issues, and definitely we discussed. I'm going to meet with the commerce schedule today, but it has been shifted tomorrow in the morning. And both the National Security Advisor and External Affairs Minister who discussed the Ganges water sharing, Rohingya issue, border issue, trade, widening the basket of trade basket, and transit issue, connectivity issue. All these issues we discussed.
Reports that have come in many a place that Bangladesh has provided a base to China. Is it true?
Fake news, completely bogus.
Okay, the session is open. So kindly raise your hands and a microphone will come. Identify yourself and then ask the question. Please. Yeah. Okay, I have noted.
Hi, sir. Thank you for your remarks and for the insights into the past, especially the past records of Indo-Bangla relations. You mentioned, sir, my name is Bhatnagar. You mentioned diversification of ties in the region, and my first question to you is about China. As foreign minister, what are your priorities in tilting your policy towards China, and how will you balance it against the competing interests of India as well as pressure from the West?
Look, the relationship between India and Bangladesh is not comparable with any other relationship because our relationship is bonded by blood. Because the people of India and the soldiers of India sacrificed their blood in our independence war, and India gave refuge to 10 million people, and India opened her border, and people here opened their heart during our independence war. So the relationship between India and Bangladesh is not comparable with any other relationship. Definitely, China is our also not immediate neighbor, but it's neighboring country. They are our development partner.
Okay, thank you. Very quickly, another question that I mentioned was you were mentioning fake news and social media campaigning. And the India Out campaign seems to be growing in Bangladesh, has ruffled quite a few feathers in the Indian ruling party as well. And I wanted to ask you that while India has a neighborhood first policy, there seems to be a lot of chatter about Bangladesh seeing an upsurge in an India Out campaign. What's your take on managing this resentment build up within the country, which will clear back ties. Thank you.
Oh, acha. Ota. Look, our party is blamed as a pro-Indian party in Bangladesh. But this tablet doesn't work anymore, or this capsule does not work anymore like in the past. But there are different quarters, anti-Indian elements there are in Bangladesh. We are pro-Bangladeshi party. We are not pro anything else. We're pro-Bangladeshi party. You see, and but there are anti-Indian elements in Bangladesh, and those who make the issue Indian issue, especially during election time, and also time to time they try to make that try to utilize the anti-Indian sentiment among some people, but this is diminishing slowly, slowly, and anti-Indian sentiment is diminishing in Bangladesh now. And vast majority of the people understand that we should have good relationship, and for the prosperity of Bangladesh, for the prosperity of the region, neighbors should have good relationship. Now vast majority believes that.
Nainima?
I cannot take many questions because I have to go to another program.
Yes.
So thank you for doing this. This is Nainima Basu from ABP Live. Just wanted to also ask as a follow-on, we are seeing increasingly that anti-India slogans are being written on the roads. There are reports that Indian products are not being allowed to sold. So what is the action that you are planning to take, if any? And also, you just said that you had discussion on the Teesta River water sharing also. Can you share something on that? How much priority you're giving on the Teesta issue as well? Thank you.
Look, Bangladesh is a free society. It's a pluralistic country, and we live in democracy. Anybody can express anything. So, anti-Indian, anti-China, anti-US, anti-Europe, or anti-Pakistan, different slogans are in the on the wall, in the posters also. So, but these kind of things, I mean, anti-Indian slogan, or it doesn't work like before. And right,
14 billion, 16.
so our trade, we import 16 billion from India and we export
2 billion.
2 billion to India. It is expanding all the time. So what you have said, that's not correct. Yeah, we discussed about this, that central government has no objection, but I mean, objection came from the state government. As you are having the election process will be started in the next month, and you will have election in March and in April and May. So after the election, I discussed this issue with the external affairs minister, and we shall carry out the issue after the election. I believe that we shall find a solution.
Mr. Minister, you mentioned 1.2 million Rohingyas in Bangladesh. What I understand is that they talk of settling them on a floating island, which is also sinking. Since you've also been involved with the climate change and ecological issues, what are your views on that?
Look, I'm a student of environmental science. It's not a sinking island, it's an emerging island. This island was not present 55 years back. It emerged after 1969 cyclone. And this island is increasing, emerging. And very nice, beautiful shelter has been made here for more than 100,000 people. And the quality of shelter, quality of everything is much, much better than the present Rohingya camps in Teknaf and Ukia. At the beginning, even some donors that they had the same understanding as you have said. But now they have realized that there is better place. Now Rohingyas are willing to go there. Already 35,000 plus, 20,000, 40,000 Rohingyas are there, and they're having better life than the Rohingyas in, uh, 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 how do you say, in Cox's Bazar area. So these are the better facility. And this is not a sinking island. This is not a sinking island. This is
With
emerging
rising
island.
water levels?
It is emerging island. And thousands of crores of taka has been spent to strengthen, to make dikes there.
Okay.
They're in better
Just
position.
one short question. As the president described Sheikh Hasina's election as overtaking everybody else and leading the state heads in the world, being the fourth time president, prime minister, is it that Bangladesh is now becoming a one-party nation?
Look, Sheikh Hasina is not fourth time prime minister. She is fifth time prime minister, fourth consecutive term. Bangladesh is a multi-party democracy we have. And among 44 registered political parties, 29 political parties participated in the election. Here, Modi ji for second consecutive terms, in in many countries of the world, there are two, second, third, fourth consecutive terms, a different prime minister or president are ruling the country. Bangladesh is a pluralistic society. We uphold the values of democracy. It's a pluralistic society. Definitely, Bangladesh is not becoming a one-party state. It's a multi-party state, and we value that. And we believe if BNP and its opposition, ultra-radical parties which are with BNP, I think I would say a little bit on that, because who are the allies of BNP? There are parties whose leaders went to Afghanistan, got training, and they believe that they want to transform Bangladesh like Afghanistan. And they openly give the slogan, we are Taliban, we want to transform Bangladesh into Afghanistan. They openly give slogans. Some of the parties which are in BNP alliance, some of the party leaders. So if they would participate in the election, they would not have the policy of resisting the election, Bangladesh democracy would be further strengthened.
জনাব আমার একটি সংক্ষিপ্ত প্রশ্ন বাংলাদেশ আর ভারতের মধ্যে গত বছর রুপি টাকা ট্রেড স্বাক্ষরিত হয় যেখানে ভস্ত্র অ্যাকাউন্ট খোলে দুটি দেশের ব্যাংক so how would you take it forward? This is my first question. Secondly, what measures will you take for diversification of your foreign policy outlook, because you already kicked off IPO last year and you have initiated, I mean, you're in the club of elite, the D8, the developing. So what sort of change would you see? And the immediate neighborhood, will you continue to engage bilaterally instead of a particular forum like, for example, BIMSTEC or SAARC? The neighborhood, the neighboring South Asian countries, bilaterally or multilaterally?
Look, we have bilateral relationship with our neighbors. We have multilateral, we have relationship with the multilateral forums also, like BIMSTEC, BBIN, IORA, SAARC, in globally UN, Commonwealth, and Global South, in the Pacific, 77 NAM, etc. We have bilateral relationship, and also we are member. Both India and Bangladesh are member of these forums. So our relationship is already we are going through the diversification of the relationship. And
Only one question per person, please. Yes.
Rupee and Taka, it has been started, and I believe that we continue and we can widen this process that will benefit both the countries and would reduce the dependency on particular currency.
Only one
Wanted to quickly ask, we've seen a letter from President Biden to Prime Minister congratulating her for winning. Now, do we understand that the misapprehensions or apprehensions that the United States had with Bangladesh wanting to sanction some people, it's over now?
Look, we congratulate the letter from the US President Joe Biden, and I believe the uneasiness that was thought by different quarters that we had uneasiness, uneasy relationship with the US, between US and Bangladesh. That was thought by some quarter. Not I'm saying. We had good relationship with US all the time. US is a profound development partner of Bangladesh. In the development process of Bangladesh over the last 52 years' time, US has contributed a lot. And I believe with this, we can bring this relationship to a new height.
PM Narayanan.
I'm from PM Narayanan from German television. Could you just update on this first nuclear reactor which is going to come up, power station which is going to come up in Bangladesh? When is it going to start? And what is the
This
status
year,
of it?
this year, first phase. First phase
And
this year.
how much power is it going to be
I
shared
think-
with India?
I think 1,000, I have to check it. More than 1,000 megawatt. More than 1,000 megawatt. Yeah.
Dr. Awad.
One second, please, just 1 second. Honorable Minister, we just wanted to, one of the challenging issues of Bangladesh is the inequality which has been facing, despite the fact that you have raised the poverty level in Bangladesh, but still it's one of the biggest challenge for the government. And do you think that democracy have taken the back steps with the current opposition boycotting the election?
This is true that the current opposition party in the street, BNP and Jamaat Islami, has been trying continuously to disrupt the democratic process. They tried this back in 2014. They tried to foil the election in 2014. They were not successful. The same in 2018. They are not successful. And this time also they had the ploy. They tried also, but they are not successful. But despite all these obstacles and the hurdles, democracy day by day is strengthening in Bangladesh, I would say. And inequality, you are saying, this is not the case that inequality is increasing, rather inequality is decreasing, because below poverty line, before extreme poverty, people living in extreme poverty, the percentage was 22%. Now it has been reduced to 5%. This data shows that inequality is reducing. Thank you.
Yes, please. Hold on.
This is Shamantok from DW, German television. So my question is, Bangladesh is always extremely vocal on border killings. And in just 2 weeks back, we have seen that one Bangladesh border guard found dead inside the Indian territory. So did you discuss anything about this with the NSA and your counterpart here?
I have discussed this issue with the External Affairs Minister, and we discussed whether it will be possible for our border guards to use non-lethal weapons. And after the killing of one border guard, there was apology from the Indian side. So we are working on that. We are in discussion. An investigation is going on that killing also.
Yes, please.
So this is Yeshi Seli from the New Indian Express. I don't know what kind of discussions did you have on Myanmar, considering the fact that the situation is so volatile. India has issued an advisory for Indians in Rakhine State, and it's bordering Bangladesh. There are a lot of Junta soldiers who are coming there. So what kind of challenges are you facing? And have Bangladesh and India decided to collaborate to fight them or to push them back?
We had also 360 plus. 340 Indian, 340 Myanmar border guard and soldiers entered in Bangladesh until yesterday. Today, no, not anyone. And so we have discussed this issue, and I think in this issue we can work together. We should work together, but because you have the same problem. Some border guard members from Myanmar and military personnel also from Myanmar fled to India also. But we are in discussion with Myanmar also, and they are willing to take them back.
Last three questions.
Good evening, Minister. I'm Parul Chandra. You've been mentioning that elections in India are going to be held in March. So have you got some kind of official word on this?
No.
April, May.
April, May.
Okay. Secondly, do you think that SARC should be revived? Do
This
you
is
have a
really
Bangladesh-
frustrating that
Yeah.
SARC is not working properly. SARC could contribute a lot in regional cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Minister, may I invite Dr. Awad to propose a vote of thanks? And then Simran will present a memento to you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, Dr. Hassan Mahmood. We thank you for honoring us in the FCC. And also we'd like to thanks Mr. Rahman, the Honorable High Commissioner and his staff for facilitating this meeting. And we had really had a good information. And I would like you to know that the Foreign Correspondent Club, most of the journalists based in India are covering also Bangladesh. We have been making repeated visit to Bangladesh, and we'll be happy to have you more in our club. And we welcome also a team of the colleagues from Bangladesh who have also accompanied you. And last but not the least, thank you all for being with us, and thank you very much.
Simran. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. Want to come and see you in Dhaka sometime.
Yeah, you went.
I was there last week.
Yeah, you asked a question also.
I asked 2 questions.
Oh, thanks. You were